Now to tonight's special report, which kickstarts our series investigating Australia's energy industry. A state which notoriously lost power across its entire grid in 2016 is now leading the way with the installation of rooftop solar. More than a third of homes in South Australia now generate their own energy, pushing electricity demand to record lows during the day. It's a similar story across Australia, with 2.2 million homes fitted with solar panels. But there are dark clouds on the horizon, with concerns the ageing electricity grid can't keep up with the solar surge. Richard Davies reports.
As the summer sun begins to bite, a rooftop revolution is taking hold. Across the country, solar panels are being installed at a rate of 6 every minute, the highest uptake in the world. Sean Black-Tiong is getting 10 panels fitted to his Adelaide home, joining millions of other households already generating their own electricity.
It was really sort of more viable when you look at the kind of cost over time to get it put in now and save money on the power bills in the future.
A perfect storm of rising bills, generous rebates and lower costs means solar is having its moment in the sun.
Are you flat out every day doing
Yes, but it's just really busy.
Yeah.
Really busy time.
Retailers and manufacturers say the industry is booming and shows no sign of slowing down.
The price of installing a solar system has dramatically reduced. With electric vehicles becoming more popular, so I've started to see people inquiring for solar to charge their batteries for the electric vehicles.
More than a third of South Australian homes are now solar powered. That's just shy of Queensland, leading the country with 35.7%. Solar uptake is also increasing in Western Australia, while the other states sit around 20% or below. But the switch to solar comes with a catch.
In the middle of the day, we're starting to approach a situation where there's more electricity being produced on solar rooftops. It's approaching the point where that'll be exceeding the demand for electricity from all the homes and businesses in Adelaide or in Brisbane or wherever.
No one in 2010 would have expected South Australia and Queensland to have more than 30% of customers with solar panels. It has happened very quickly. It's a real challenge for the rule makers and for the industry to keep up with the change.
For a state that once worried about not having enough power, there's now almost too much solar energy being generated during the day and no one to use it. If you group all the panels together, rooftop solar is now the largest generator of electricity, nearly 3 times more than South Australia's last coal-fired power plant.
So they're feeding into the 240 volt. The extra line is a neutral.
For distributor SA Power Networks, that excess solar can risk grid stability, creating issues with voltage levels and potentially causing blackouts.
The grid was designed for centralised energy generation, one-way direction of flow. Now we're getting flows back up into the network, and even on some days in October we actually saw the south of Adelaide generating more than it was using.
What the industry is now trying to do is get consumers to turn on their energy-hungry appliances like pool pumps and hot water heaters during the day rather than at night.
There's several different ways we want to manage this. Some of this is about technology, some of it's about configuration of the network and the way customers set up their homes, but also it's about how we incentivise people to use energy when it's cheapest and when it's most effective for us for them to do that.
Home batteries are one part of the solution, allowing people like John Painter to store power when it's cheap, use it later or sell it back to the grid when it's more expensive.
We haven't had a bill. 12 months and, we got one bill, $24.
To help regulate energy use, South Australia is now trying to entice 40,000 people to have batteries installed by offering subsidies of up to $6,000.
The combination of the technology and the pricing structures would, I think, change behaviour fairly quickly and produce the sort of result we need. And they're the two broad areas that need to be addressed. And they are being actively pursued, but we've got some catching up to do.
Perhaps finally, an end to bill shock is in sight. Richard Davies, ABC News, Adelaide.
And for the next week here on ABC News, we'll have a special series of reports looking at the cost of this energy transition and what our energy future looks like. That's The Power Switch here on ABC TV, radio and online.